Hello, everyone, and welcome to the August 1st meeting for Jupyter IPython. We are following an agenda that's on Dropbox paper that's linked in the chat. And we will go ahead and just kick off the agenda. I think we're starting with, looks like Jessica, updates on documentation.
Okay, this is going to be very short. So let's see. I should have the profiles for our previous talks ready to go later this week. And I guess one thing I guess we can talk offline or later about is in what ways I can help out with getting things ready for sprints in terms of like making sure people understand what they would need to know in order to participate. If there's any way I can help, I'd be happy to help.
Okay, great. Kyle and connect with Kyle and Jason on that, right? They're leading that effort. Okay. All right, let's move on to updates on the notebook. Looks like Grant and Thomas, go ahead.
Okay, so I think we're going to release a release candidate today for 5.1. There's one more issue that we want to include in this one. And then we'll probably give that just a couple days before we do an official release. Thomas, do you want to add anything?
Yes, there are a couple of other things. Let me just find the notes document. Yeah, so the delete to platform trash thing got bumped to 5.2 because there's still some bugs that we're working out. The other thing is that there are some people interested in supporting the web-based terminal that we provide in the notebook on Windows, which we don't currently do. But the Spider developers have been doing some work to wrap a library called WinPty, which provides the necessary piece that we need. If that gets turned into something that Jupyter can use, are there any objections to sort of hosting and maintaining that under the Jupyter organization on GitHub? Because at the moment it's one of those things that we can probably make it happen, but nobody really wants to be responsible for maintaining it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems fine, especially if the Spider folks want to be maintainers on it.
Great. Okay, I'll let them know that we can do that.
Anything else on Notebook before we move on to Jupyter Lab?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So Steve, are you giving, or Darian, are you giving the update on Jupyter Lab?
Sure, I can do it.
Okay.
Not too much this week. So there's a PR that is outstanding that's linked for the settings UI, which has been updated a bit. This is really incremental, though. We want to head toward basically totally GUI way of modifying settings in that enhanced table view. Similar to what Firefox has, this is what Matthias was suggesting a few weeks ago, and we're iteratively getting there. So right now you still have the main interface as the editor, but there's ways to interact with it in the table right now by injecting defaults up, and it makes things more discoverable. Anyway, it would be nice if people who have some ideas about this just check out that PR, and if you have any comments, I appreciate them. But yeah, so enough about settings. The notebook refactor is continuing apace. It's there's nothing really new to add to that. It's just continuing work, and we are talking about how to build the ability to easily switch themes, or just what a theme should be, what it looks like as an extension, and those discussions are ongoing. So if anyone's interested, there's a link there about that as well. And I think that's it for Jupyter Lab, unless somebody else wants to add something. Okay, great.
Alrighty, thanks, Darian. So moving on, I see Jason on the call. Jason, do you have any updates on Jupyter widgets that you want to share?
Sure, and I'll update the page in a second. We are just progressing towards IPyWidget 7. We released a beta 3, and we're working through some issues that cropped up, and we'll be posting a new beta soon. I'll finish one of the major issues today, and then post a new beta soon, and then this will probably push the RC off to early next week, probably. But we're making progress towards there.
Okay. Awesome. So NB convert, looks like somebody was just typing in there. Do you have updates on NB convert?
So a couple of few things were merged, but mostly I was actually working on some widget stuff last week. But one of the new issues on NB convert is actually coming from the 7.0. Jason, could you explain a bit more about what that is, or just how is 7.0 changing the way that links are being embedded?
Yeah, you're talking about the NB convert issue I just opened up a day or two ago. So two things that are happening. One, the in-document schema, the in-document format is changing. And two, the package that we're including in order to render the widgets is a different package now. So there should be relatively minor changes, but we're settling that. That's the big issue I'm working through right now. We're settling exactly what those changes are right now.
Okay, great. I look forward to hearing what the actual final thing is. Right.
Yep, I'll be following up on the NB convert issue as we finalize the changes in IPyWidgets.
Awesome. And that's it for this week.
Okay, great. I don't think Peter is on the call, so we will skip over the services update. And Min, do you have updates on Jupyter Hub that you want to share?
Mainly that the last major thing for next release has landed, so now it's testing and refinement and docs left before shipping our release. It can add it to the list of many things that will be released or almost released just before JupyterCon.
Okay, awesome. All right, so moving into conferences and workshops, I think most of these were on the list from last week, although I see some Thomas added, Euro, SciPy. Min has a question mark on there. Min, well, you'll be there, right? Yes.
Be there.
Yeah. Okay. We'll take the question mark off. And then just some general reminders for JupyterCon. I listed out the schedule overview and a link to the registration for the sprints. There is a size limit on the amount of people that we will be able to take for the sprints. I think we're about halfway there. So if you are planning on going to the sprints, please register. So there's no cost for doing so, but we just need to be able to account for the number of people who will be in the space. So definitely, if you're planning on Saturday, go ahead and click through on the link and register for the event. And then there were a couple action items from last week that I put into this category for the action items. It looks like someone was asking about attending an event called Supercomputing. Did anyone submit the Jupyter BOF? Or is anyone planning to?
I don't think anybody's going that I know of.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to take that off of there for now, and we'll move on. And it looks like Jason and Kyle are still looking for sprint leaders. Do you want to talk about that, Kyle or Jason? Is there
Sure, Kyle.
anything
Kyle, are you on?
specific?
Oh, Kyle, you are on.
Actually
Do you
on.
want to?
Yep.
I mean, I think we're just looking for people that can lead a group of volunteers, possibly people that are brand new to the community and sprint issues. So a sprint leader typically would identify some sprint-friendly issues, have some projects maybe that they're going to work on, but it seems pretty usual that the sprint leaders shouldn't plan on getting a ton of work of their own done and mainly be focused on helping others get up to speed with contributing or directing people and starting to contribute. We'll have a short session at the beginning of the morning about basic GitHub workflow, things like committing, what an issue is on GitHub, et cetera. So you could take it above that level, but you may be working with lots of people that are just that have never committed to an open source project before, all the way to people that are longtime committers. Kyle, you want to elaborate anymore?
Perfect.
Okay. And are you guys leading that intro session, the both of you?
Either we will or we'll find some. Okay, yes. Either we'll make
I
sure
was planning that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Sounds good. And then some other action items or some older items. Looks like, do you still need code reviews on NB converts? Should I leave that in there? Yes. Okay. And then a note from Thomas on the notebook and the 5.1 release. Does that still need to be there, Thomas, as a reminder, or should we go ahead and check it off?
I think we can check it off. We're basically there. Okay,
good. So just a reminder in the last section here we keep track of the releases kind of in this format of what was released last week, what releases are planned to happen this week, and what should be released soon. So any of the notes that you took from or that you have in the agenda above, go ahead and repeat them there just so we can track them in that format. And that's the end of the agenda. So at this point, is there anything that anyone wants to share with the community that isn't on the agenda or that we haven't covered yet? If not, we will go ahead and sign off and close the meeting. Okay. All right, sounds good. Well, it was great to see everyone, and I hope you have a good rest of your week, and we'll go ahead and sign off now. Thank you.